Good morning. Once again, we are set for another installment of Your Life Matters with clinical social worker Dr. Beth Plachetka from Safe Harbor Counseling and Dr. Beth Speaks. And as always, on a Monday morning, we are joined by Dr. Beth Plachetka. Doctor, good morning, and how are you today?
I'm good, Mike. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well as we continue on with our theme about gratitude for this whole month of November, which of course is the month of Thanksgiving. And today we are talking about gratitude and how it builds on our successes. What are we talking about?
You know, one of the characteristics that we talked about in week one of mental health is resilience, that ability to, like, okay, here's a situation that's not good, and I can get through it. You know, like I can problem solve it. And in week two, we talked about relationships, and this kind of blends them together. Gratitude requires us to stop and notice what's going on. And now we're talking about situations that come up and we think, whoa, what's happening? You know, like inside of our bodies, we can kind of tell that something is not right. I'm thinking of a time when my friend and I and our kids, when they were little, were driving to Milwaukee. Got off at the wrong exit, I can tell you. We knew right away. We didn't know where we were. And there was that feeling in the pit of our stomach where you know that you can't figure this out right at this moment by yourself. We stopped and asked for directions. The look on our face must have told the attendant that we were lost, because she said, boy, these people are lost. But she was so kind. And I still remember that, and that had to be 20 years ago, when she said, here you do, just go around this loop, get back on that exit, there you are. That just released all that tension for both of us. We didn't have to worry about getting lost. And she didn't act like we were bothering her. It was like, yeah, if we can see you're lost, let's help you. We came to her. We knew she had something. She was glad that we asked her. We were glad that we asked her. And we said thank you. If we want to be resilient, we have to know that we have a need and that we can figure out what to do, identify the problem, and solve it. So what usually happens, you know, the things that really knock us down are bigger than directions. A divorce, a diagnosis, a job loss, those things are big. They're overwhelming, devastating at times. And we can remember, if possible, a time when we went through something difficult before and that we got through it and how we did it, like what was our problem-solving method. Sometimes we have to find somebody who's been through it or studied it who can also help us think about what problem-solving methods we can use. We consider the lessons, we apply them, and then we are thankful. Not that bad things happen. We're thankful that we made it through, because that is going to give us a plan for the next time, a roadmap for the next time. Sometimes it's personal. Sometimes gratitude is specifically toward one person. We know that they significantly made a difference. Sometimes it's to a system. Sometimes it's to ourselves, that we think, oh my gosh, I should be proud of myself. I did something that worked. All of those, when we recognize the problem, we go through the process, and we notice that we solved it, helps us build resiliency. So this month, in talking about those things, it's difficult to be grateful for everything. You know, it's hard, but we want to remember that we want to be grateful that we have the opportunity to problem solve. We want to keep to our values, keep doing the things that are right, and look for people who can help us, because your life matters.
Yeah, and you mentioned gratitude toward ourselves. That's something we probably don't do enough of either.
No, we're really good at telling ourselves that we didn't do enough. We should have done better. If I had done something 10 years ago, this wouldn't have happened to me now. 10 years ago, we didn't know anything about what was going to happen now. You know, so we can't hold ourselves accountable for that kind of stuff. And again, not every difficulty is going to disappear, but the idea that we can make it through it is what is going to build resiliency, and other people will catch that from us as well.
Going back to your directions story, I wonder how many listeners have no concept of the fact that back 20 years ago, Dr. Beth, there were no GPSs. We had, it was scary when you got lost because there was no easy way to find your way around. So to find someone that could be so friendly and helpful, that was a really nice thing.
Right, exactly. And you know what? And that's really a loss in some ways that we don't get to ask somebody for that help. But right now I have to go to the AT&T store and ask a lot for help, too. So you just ask them in different ways, you know?
Well, it's good to get more information on this very important topic of gratitude at the perfect time of year, the month of Thanksgiving. You can listen to this show, you can listen to past shows, and get tons of resources on this topic or any topic that we've discussed in the past on the website safeharboril.com. Safe Harbor and Dr. Beth with Facebook pages. You can listen to past shows. You can also contact Safe Harbor Counseling at 630-466-8657. It's called Your Life Matters, and we'll do it again next week at the same time.